Yo, what up? We back with RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And today we're gonna talk about contraband, how to get it back. There's different ways we get our contraband and why it matters. Because, well, maybe not to some, but to me, it definitely mattered. And I'm gonna explain why. First, let me just say, prison is like 80% maybe people that's addicted to a drug. And I'm being generous when I say 80, because in my heart, I really feel it's more like 90, 95%. But I'm be generous. I'm gonna say prison is kind of 80 to 85% filled with people that's addicted to drugs. So in order for a lot of them slash us to cope, we either gotta quit cold turkey or figure out how we gonna get our drugs in here. Now I'm gonna use myself as an example. I don't want to implement anybody else. My drug of choice was marijuana, is marijuana. Let's make that clear. And at the time, we talking about when I was in New York too, not a Connecticut bid, because the rules are much more stricter and it's much more expensive and harder to get drugs in Connecticut than it is in New York. I'm not saying it's not done. It's just so much easier in New York. I almost did it. I mean, I tried, but we ain't gonna get into the day that I damn near died, choking, almost choked to death in the visiting room, trying to get these balloons down. That's another story for another episode, maybe a comedy version. But yeah, I tried, and after I learned that I just can't do it, I'm not cut out to be able to swallow balloons of weed and then bring them back and then get it back out of my body. Like I just can't do it. So what I started doing was, well, first I started off with it was a little homie from my hood. We was on Rikers Island together, and he would bring it back for me, and I would pay him in weed, of course. But everybody was happy. I have the person meet his peoples. Um, they would give the weed to his peoples. His peoples would put it in balloons, package it up and everything, and bring it to him. He'd swallow it, get back to the dorms, remove his bowels, go through his feces, and retrieve the balloons. Now, I never witnessed it. He just told me, like, yo, I gotta use the bathroom. And when I poop it out, I go through the toilet and find the balloons. He told me this. And I maybe it was me. I could have sworn like immediately after he told me how he was getting it back, I would be smoking with my homies, and I'd be like, "Yo, this weed smell like a nigga butt. Like this shit smell like ass." And a lot of times, like I used to smoke with my bunkie a lot, and he was a dude that was coming down. He was going to trial. He had got his case back in court, but he was down for 20 years, and he was going to trial for um for a body, but he was trying to get it overturned. But he'd been in jail so long, he used to always be like, nah, nah, this shit, this some gas. And I always felt like, bro, you just been in jail too long to know the difference. Like, this shit smell like some doodle. Not bad weed either, literally shit. So eventually I met this other little homie from Brooklyn, and he got it back kind of differently. The way he did his thing, he would same procedure, go to the visit, swallow the balloons, but then he'd come back and he'd drink a bunch of shampoo, and it'd make him throw up, and he would just wash the balloons off. He'd throw the balloons up. He would rinse them off, take and basically give them to me to do the rest with. Um, I swear it did not smell like poop. Ever since I started dealing with the other little homie from Brooklyn, it smelled like shampoo. I'm like, and I mean, I don't want my weed smelling like poop or shampoo, but if I had to choose, I would choose shampoo. So I kind of started dealing with the little homie from Brooklyn, and I kept dealing with him, which actually caused some friction with the little homie from my hood. He wanted to beat the other little dude up, and I had to stop it because I'm like, bro, it's not his fault or my fault that I prefer to deal with him. Like his weed smells like this, your weed smells like this. Like I just don't want to smoke weed that smell like your ass no more. And I mean, eventually he had to respect it, but maybe I was bugging, you know. A lot of the people that I smoke with would say they didn't smell it. It could have been just in my head because I knew where it came from, and my hypochondria started kicking in, and I'm like, this smells like his ass. But I don't know, you know, for anybody that's been in this situation before, let me know what you think. Like, have you ever gotten your contraband back and it smelled like ass, and then went through somebody who throw it up and it smelled like shampoo, or am I just bugging? Let me know in the comment section. Again, I always say this, if you have a comment that you feel is too personal, sometimes I have a lot of females that want to talk about their prison relationship, but they don't want the world to know all the details. Kind of like the young lady that was talking about her prison husband's intimacy issues. If that's the case and you don't want to put it in the comment section so that the whole world can see it, you just want me to know about it, can always DM me directly on Instagram. My Instagram is wes.smith.129. That's wes.smith.129. Um, be on the lookout for my book that's coming out, How to Survive Prison. And until next time, peace.